This is the Stack FAB edition, perhaps a minor hint of things to come here at 983 Media. Nonetheless, friends, I am joined by the Tomranosaurus Rex. You told me to call you whatever I want, so I've elected for Tomranosaurus Rex.
You know, that was, funny enough, that was my nickname in college I was a paleontology major back then, but, things have changed.
Is that true?
Actually, I wasn't. No.
I was gonna say I would put you in. I would connect you with Dalen Mack for reasons we'll discuss in a future episode. But Dalen doesn't believe in dinosaurs, which is funny because they believe in him. So I don't know. Either way, Tommy,
someone ought to.
We had a great weekend in Las Vegas. We had such a good time. We went to Topgolf. Had some drinks. You were there. The buds were there. Everyone was there. Just before we get into the stack, give us a quick little sort of, little feel out as to how your weekend was.
Oh man, Las Vegas was awesome. It was my first time in Las Vegas, so that was cool. I was staying with Logan from Flesh and Pod. Big shout out to Logan. What a great guy. Good hotel mate for sure. And we got to hang out, and I got to hang out with Adam from the Combat Chain, you, Elaine, Missy.
Missy!
And it was great fun. And, on top of that, getting to play Uprising was just a blast. And, literally just was so giddy about Uprising all weekend. And I can't wait to get more cards in my hands, honestly. So, yeah.
We're not far away from getting more cards in the hand, but before that, my friend, we do have a little something called the stack. So are you ready to play the stack?
Hit me.
All right. Rules are simple, friend. I'm going to give you a statement. You say, hey, that resolves, as in, yeah, I agree. That can happen. Or, it fizzles. That's not going to happen. No chance. No way. Number one, Mr. Tommy Fresh. Levia will win a calling by the end of 2023.
End of 2023. I'm going to say that resolves. I think we are on the cusp of getting some serious Levia support. As Ethan Van Sant has created, the League of Levia is strong. We are few, but we are growing in numbers, and I think it's only a matter of time. She's right there. She can compete with the best of them at her best. So it's going to happen.
I think that, you know what? I think you're onto something here. Eventually, she's going to get some cards, and somebody like Ethan or yourself or Gabe Scher, like players who have been very dedicated to the hero, will cross the finish line. Next up, Las Vegas is the ideal location in the USA for major tournaments.
That's going to be a big fizzle for me, Matthew. We all know that the number one place in the USA to have a major tournament is none other than New Jersey. And I will stand by that. I will live by that and die by that. So that is the truth. Vegas was cool and all, but it's just not my jam. As soon as I hit the soil in New Jersey the other day after my flight back, I wept. It just felt so good to be back, and I can't wait for another tournament here.
Yeah, the soil, however, was actually in the airport because of how filthy that entire place was. But look, this was not meant to extract some of that Jersey pride out of you. This was merely I just tossed it out there. But I will say this. At the Meadowlands Convention Center in the hotel that we stayed at, there was a decent amount of stuff around. It wasn't the worst place. Plus you were, New York City adjacent. So if you needed to do stuff, I actually enjoyed that venue. I thought that it was pretty decent. It was economical. It was good. It was big enough. I thought it was great. Phi will be the best performing hero from Uprising.
I think that's going to be a fizzle from me. However, I will kind of put an asterisk on that. I think initially, yes. I think a lot of people are going to be jamming Phi right out the gates, but I don't think as the dust settles, I think we're going to see a lot more Icelander performing well, and I think even some Dromai towards the end here.
Dromai seems to me like the forgotten child out of the trio. And I think it's because it's not as straightforward to figure out. I mean, Icelander, you kind of got the blueprint of blue ice cards and you kind of go ham. But I think Dromai, to me, feels like the most work needs to be put into figuring that hero out. 3 heroes is the ideal number for draft sets.
I'm going to say Resolve. Now, that is a little controversial, but and I know some people don't agree with this, but Tales of Aria, I think, is a banger of a draft set, especially post errata. And in my one draft of Uprising over the weekend, I think this one's turning out to be another banger of a draft set. Now, that being said, the 4 hero draft sets are fine and they're good. You know, Welcome to Wraith was awesome, but I think going forward, this 3 hero set solves like 2 problems. A little bit more of a balance at the table, at the 8-seat table, and it also solves the problem of not just jamming, you know, a 4th hero down everybody's throat in terms of constructed, kind of printing a 4th hero. That's a lot of heroes to throw out there every single time as the game gets bigger.
Beautiful, beautiful. This one was actually floated about and is an actual idea that is being kind of considered and tossed around, not just at a grassroots level, but also by LSS. An outdoor FAB tournament is a good idea.
Oh,
I mean, we talked. Look. We met Elaine's mother, Missy, who is an absolute darling and a wonderful human being, and you know, out there in Louisiana, they want to put on a tournament, but I don't know if it's outdoors or indoors because she kept mentioning the outdoor bar, the pool, and whatever, and and I have also discussed ideas about having an outdoor tournament, you know, under a tent or whatever, and this and that, in the right climate at the right time. Is it a good idea? Or rather, I should say, it is a good idea. Resolve or Fizzer?
I'm going to say Resolve, but with that kind of caveat of having like a tent, because, you know, things can get windy and they are cardboard cards. So we need to, like, if we could do it where we can protect people's cards, hell yeah, that would be awesome.
All right, so Montreal in February is off the table. Easy. Team Blitz is the ideal way to run a Blitz tournament.
I'm going to say Resolve here. Now, I'm not the biggest Blitz fan in the 1v1 kind of format, but I will say that when it comes to teams, I think Blitz is kind of where that should live, and it's a lot of fun, and it seems like takes out a little bit of the coin flip variance of Blitz, and you know, it's fun to kind of be on a team anyway, but it could be a real grind if it was classic constructed teams. So I think Blitz is a great place to do the team format, as opposed to just, you know, as we saw in, was it the calling Krakow, that, you know, it was a coin flip tournament, and, you know, it was nuts. So I think to slow it down a little bit, that's the way to do it.
I agree with you there. I like you, was never a fan of Blitz ultimately. So when I did this tournament, I got a better, you know, appreciation of Blitz in general, but I would never further sign up for other major Blitz tournaments unless they were Team Blitz, and the team dynamic and just how the teams kind of coalesced and the strategy involved. But not only that, just like some teams showing up in themes, like the all brute teams that were out there, or like all the kinds of other crazy nonsense, and just how they all either had team jerseys or themes or whatever. It was exquisite, and I have to say that's if I want to see more Team Blitz for sure. Next one, this one's just for you, Buddy Bear. The word cheese will appear on a FAB card before the word ranch.
Resolve. You know, I mean, come on. Oh God, yeah, God. If they do a Western themed set, I'm screwed, because, you know, there'll be some kind of ranch card. But, you know, cheese, and it will be a blue. You know, it will be some kind of card. You know, probably once we get like a chef hero or something like that.
Chef Hero would be kind of cool. Like, I'm thinking about it this way. Like, people give me foil flake outs because, flake. If there was a cheese card with a blue pitch, you would basically have the monopoly of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, nobody's really trying to compete with me for it, but that is definitely going to happen.
Next up is the Living Legend system is good the way it is.
Resolve. I actually think that, it was bound to take a bit for it to do what we wanted it to do. And I think it kind of going into this Uprising release with Starvo and Chain leaving, we're seeing a brand new format. And that's like the ideal thing when a new set comes out. Obviously when a set comes out, everybody's gonna be trying the new heroes, but having this somewhat of a rotation, I do that in quotes because it's not true rotation, but it gives a certain fresh take to a set release that may not have come if nothing hit Living Legend. And you know what? If nothing hit Living Legend, I truly think that, decks like Chain and Starvo must not have been powerful enough with the amount of tournaments they've been pumping out as of late.
All right, we got... So again, this past set that came out, we've got Draconic, Ice, etc., Elemental. We have seen the last talentless hero from FAB. So no more just a class, no more just a ninja, just an illusionist. Every hero from here on out will have a talent associated to it.
I'm gonna say Fizzle. I don't know if we're gonna get another adult talentless hero, but I believe we will get some more young heroes, especially in supplemental sets. Like they gave us Valda. I think that's a great way to kind of give us these cool young heroes for Blitz and UPF and PvE as we kind of continue down that line. So I'm gonna say Fizzle. I think it's entirely possible that we get some more talentless adult heroes too, but definitely we're gonna get some young heroes.
Yeah, that's a talentless would essentially, dictate us, right? The clowns that we are. Anyway, class clown, which I was class clown actually, and then talentless. That's basically us. The talentless class clown is basically what I was going through my adolescence. All right, last one, Mr. Fresh. Commoner will be a format for a future calling.
Ooh. I'm going to say Resolve just because I want it to be. I think that would be so much fun. I think that has the potential to be a huge success. However, we need to kind of figure out the format a little bit and probably get somewhat of a ban list before we get there. But I do think, especially as the game gets bigger, a Commoner calling, I think would be a net good for the game. I know not everybody agrees with that, but I think it's important to have these formats that kind of can put a lot of people kind of at the same level, right? We're looking at this set Uprising coming out, and the Fabled is more than playable, and that's awesome. And you only need one in the deck anyway, but that's not everybody's kind of ability. Not everybody can afford that. So Commoner, I think, at a calling would be awesome, and I'm going to say Resolve big time.
I like it. All right, well, Mr. Tommy Fresh, that has been the stack. Thank you so much for playing. Your score will be mailed to you in 6 to 8 weeks. We don't know. We'll see how this kind of ships out. But I got to say, dude, it's always a joy to hang out with you when I do see you and speak to you. But you do have the successful and wonderful podcast, the Fresh and Buds podcast, that is constantly growing, and the community out there loves you and they cherish you as I do. But for those who have basically tuned into this by accident, most likely, and said, hey, who is that handsome guy and why is he talking to Flake? Can you just maybe direct them to where they can get a little bit more of the freshness?
Yeah. Well, first I want to say it's always great to chat with you and hang out with you. I truly believe we are kindred spirits, and my life has been better for meeting you, and I can't wait to hang out with you more. And I can't wait to hang out with everybody else all the time. That's what I like to do. So, but my podcast is Fresh and Buds. You know, kind of the philosophy there is I'm fresh and everybody's my friend. So, where I want them to be. And you can find me on Twitter at FreshBudsPod. And the podcast is on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple, anywhere you get your podcasts, including YouTube. It is an audio podcast, but I do some YouTube video stuff as well. And yeah, we have a lot of great guests. Flake has been on there many times, and he will be on plenty more times. And yeah, awesome.
Beautiful stuff. All right,
thank
friends.
You again.
No, thank you. And thank you all for listening and watching. This has been The Stack. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to be kind to one another, and you're not losing if you're learning. We'll see you next week on The Stack.